There were many times in the system where I felt disempowered as a father and as a parent, either by not having the information provided to me in a way that I could utilize it and show up for my son as a father, or seeing other people be able to make decisions about my son's life and about my life, and not really feeling like there was anything I could do about it.
I think there came a point of my 17 years in foster care where they said, you're going to emancipate from the system. There's not going to be sort of permanency from you. Adoption or guardianship or any of these other sort of permanent placements just aren't going to be a reality. And so the conversation and the mentality shifted to, instead of finding her a permanent sort of loving placement or working to really help her reunify with her parents, we're just going to help her exit the system and be alone.
The contrast in the resources was very hard to digest because you're going through, this child is the same as this child. It's two girls, it's two boys, it's a boy or a girl, it doesn't matter. But if they go to grandma who's on a limited or fixed budget, she gets no resources. If they go into foster care, they're entitled to clothing, beds, and all of this stuff becomes free to them.
I was absolutely treated differently because of my background. Absolutely. I think that they didn't know what to do with me because of it was brand new. ICWA law was brand new, and court systems were trying to figure out what it was, and they were trying to find ICWA foster homes and find Native American people to become foster parents, and it was almost like a burden to be a Native American child in need of foster care.
If there was one thing that could be done to treat families differently, I'd have to start with listening to families. I'd have to start right there. Because families you listen to them, you talk to them, and you'll know what they need. And so often that's not the case. It's, I know what you need before I talk to you, before I engage with you, because I've assessed what you need.
Fortunately, somebody saw something in me that I didn't see in myself through my anger. And at 16, I was asked to join a youth advisory board. I've always been outspoken. I always say what's on my mind. But this was a channel that really allowed me to learn something about a subject and apply my smart mouth to be able to make change for the better. And that experience taught me that my responsibility on this world is more than myself. It's to create change for others, so that way they don't have to go through the same thing that I went through when I was younger.
As a resource parent, now I'm a resource for the child, and I'm a resource for the birth parent. So if the birth parent, I can encourage that birth parent to go to that parenting classes, help them make sure that they, at those visitations, I can go to court now. Before we couldn't go to court, now I can go to court as a resource for that birth parent, and mostly for the child, but as a resource for that birth parent as well.
I think it is so critical for us to have an empathetic person connect with us to successfully navigate this system, because the system should be there to help. It should not be there to cause punitive grief or trauma to families.
Equipped the grandparent with better resources, with more knowledge, with more support on onboarding the children with the grandparent, and maybe giving them some training, whether it's how to handle a child with ADHD, the mental health, what happens when the child is so traumatized that they wake up at night and they're crying and a grandparent doesn't know what to do.
Coming from my past and where I've been through in the system doesn't overall define me. It doesn't really put a label on me. I embrace that culture, what I call the foster culture, really a lot. I see it as an own culture, and I use that to kind of like motivate me to reach higher places in life.
Policy needs to be written from the heart. That may sound off the wall for a politician to write legislation, or one of our leaders, county, state, or federal leaders, to make policy from the heart. But I think if the heart is in it, then laws and procedures and policies would be crafted better.
It's just amazing to think about how life has changed from when I was younger, and I just tell those young people, like, it gets better. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's really not gonna happen overnight. I've been working on my mental health for quite a few years now, and I can honestly say I'm genuinely happy, which is something I haven't said in a while. But it does get better.